Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to my shack. As you probably know, in the last years, I was focusing on building radio receivers. Simple radio receivers, nothing sophisticated, just simple AM radio receivers. Well, recently, because a friend of mine stimulated me, I start experimenting with FM radio receivers, and I am quite close to finalize a project that I think it's quite nice. It's a stereo FM receiver, which starts at the front end with commercial FM blocks, which were developed in the ex-socialist countries. And here in this image, you have a block of the Gloria Romanian radio receiver, which has been modified so that it is able to receive the CCIR standard. As you probably know, in the ex-socialist countries, the norm, the transmitting norm was OIRT. So we don't have anymore any stations on that frequency range. So we were obligated to convert our front end blocks so that they can receive from 88 to 108 megahertz. So here you have such a Gloria block, which has been modified, and in a future video I will show you how to do it, if you still want to do it, if you still have a Gloria radio receiver. The receiver, it's still in experimental mode, but it's working quite fine. So probably I will make a film with it. It's stereo. But we will talk about this in another video, in a coming video. For now, I will try to convert another FM block, another frequency modulation block, which seems to be a very interesting FM block, which can be found in most of the ex-socialist countries as spare parts from radios like Selena, Okean, or in some radio cassette players as VEF. I don't remember the number of the type of the VEF radio cassette player, but they had such FM blocks, which seems to be quite interesting blocks because they are using three independent transistors, the front end, the oscillator, and the mixer. So they should have quite good sensitivity in FM range. In a matter of fact, there are a few different types of FM blocks. I never had a block designed to work from the factory in the CCIR mode from 88 to 108 megahertz, but it seems that it existed in the last years of the production of Selena units. I never had one. All that I have are blocks from the old Eastern Europe standard. I don't know, it was 62 to 74 megahertz or something like that, much lower frequency than the Western standard. So there is this kind of block which is using silicon transistors, 3 silicon transistors, and there is another variant of this block. It's this one. It's a little bit older block, and he is using only 2 germanium PNP transistors. We will convert both of them to the new standard, to the standard Western standard, CCIR, from 88 to 108 megahertz, and I will show you how to do it in a link that you will find in the description. I will put in the description a link to a exhaustive, quite extended page with a lot of information how to do it step by step. Of course, it's in Russian, but you know, with Google Translate, that shouldn't be any problem. So check the link in the description. And in the meantime, I will start to change values, and then you will see how it works. So the first thing you have to do is to test if your block is functioning, if it's not defective. For this, you only need the voltage, the voltage supply. So for this variant, which uses silicon transistors, this pin, the second pin, is the ground, and it's negative. And the first pin, that one, it's the power supply, and it is positive. Plus 5 volts. It should be plus 4.5 to 5 volts approximately. And there you have another pin which should be ground. This one, it's the exit. Those two are the coil of the exit coil of 10.7 megahertz. Exit and ground. So this one is grounded too, of course, but there is nothing at the exit of 10.7 megahertz, and the automatic frequency control is grounded too, using a resistor. I don't know how what value it has. You can just short it to the ground. It should be shorted to the ground, otherwise it will not be stable on radio station. So that varicap diode should be grounded there. So that's it, a plus, minus, and those ground connection, and it should work. How can you assess the frequency? Well, you can use a frequency counter, of course, but there is a very, very easy way if you have a spectrum, a mini spectrum analyzer. So that's what I have here. In a matter of fact, it's a mini spectrum analyzer, and as you can see, it's detecting the local oscillator, and it says that it's 74 megahertz. You subtract from this 10.7 megahertz, and you will obtain the received frequency. So now it should be around 67 megahertz approximately. From memory, it's approximately 64 megahertz. And we're opening the variable capacitor, and we see how it moves. So it's clearly working, it's oscillating, so the oscillator is okay. And the upper band limit here is 85 megahertz. You subtract 10.7, so you're around 73, 74, 73 megahertz roughly. So that was the ex-communist FM band. Now let's modify the components, as you can see in the description, in the link on the description, and see how and what range we will obtain. So in the end, I made all the modifications that were described into that page that you have into the description, and finally there were necessary some winding modification. So on the oscillator coil, I removed 2 turns from the bottom of the coil, and as you see, the core is adjusted to obtain a good coverage of the band. On the preamplifier coil, that you can see here. I have not changed the turns, the number of the turns, but I have replaced the core. Originally, it was a ferrite core, and it was necessary to replace it with some brass core to be able to tune it in the right range. And the input of the antenna core was inserted almost completely into the coils. So those are the modifications, and yes, the capacitor number 22 was completely removed. Otherwise, the coverage was not correct in the band. So what we have? Well, I connected the module to the radio already. As you can see here, you have the output of 10.7 megahertz. Intermediate frequency, of course, is not okay. It should be shielded. It will be shielded. It's just experimental now. So I connected it at the input of the demodulator. So normally we should have some radio stations that we can pick. So let's see what we have as frequency. Remember, you have to subtract 10.7 megahertz to obtain the received frequency. So let's start.
This is Camila Cabello. More variety. DGFM, ca să știi. Mindenkitek született. Akár születésekor, vagy később, 2-3 hét. La noche está para un reggaeton lento. Hips, curves, lips say the words.
Făcut pe un mers doar tu, ca și cum ai fi...
Ja, nun öffnet sich mir eine Tür.
Viitor vom găzdui în România următoarea întâlnire în formatul triunghi Odessa, trilateral la Miniștri.
It's the most beautiful time of the year.
Empatia și epuizarea, dar el
Tematicul necesar muzicii discului conjugă mari eforturi la superlativ.
So a huge number of stations can be received with this FM tuner if it is correctly retuned. It's working absolutely fantastic.